Hi, I'm Sparrow. I'm 12 years old, and my favorite Marvel weapon is the Tesseract.
Hi, I'm Stitch. I'm 9 years old, and my favorite Marvel weapon is Stormbreaker.
And I'm Tony, their Disney dad. And my favorite Marvel weapon is Captain America's shield. Welcome to Disney Discussions.
Aloha. Aloha.
Aloha.
They almost forgot to say aloha.
Yep.
Welcome to episode 48 of Disney Discussions. Disney Discussions is a family-friendly podcast where me, Tony the Disney dad, and my two boys
Sparrow.
Stitch.
talk about all things Disney. This week, we're going to talk about our trip to the Marvel exhibit at the Franklin Institute in Philadelphia.
It was really fun.
And our top 5 favorite Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Welcome
Yay.
to
Wait,
Disney
I have a question for you, Dad.
Discussions.
Which Captain America shield?
Ooh.
I kind Is it a haunted Captain America shield? I like the one from Winter Soldier, in the beginning, the spy one.
Yeah.
Where it's like a little darker. That one's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like not the original colors at all.
Right.
It's blue and gray.
Yeah.
I like the...
Stormbreaker version of Stormbreaker?
No, I'm talking about Captain America's shield.
Okay.
Okay.
I like the broken Endgame one.
Oh, at the end?
Cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
His broken one.
My favorite Tesseract is the Tesseract. There's only one Tesseract.
All right. Do you guys have anything you want to talk about? Anything that's going on? School has started.
Boo.
Yep. We're full on into September, which means the fall is coming.
Yay. Halloween.
Halloween, yeah.
Halloween.
Yeah. Anything you guys want to discuss?
No.
I like Mickey.
Okay.
That's good.
All right. Well, I want to let you guys know that we recorded a fun game show segment for Station 71 podcast.
Yes.
It was us versus them. I'm not going to say who won. I'm not going to say who won. You're going to have to listen. But it was a lot of fun. They have a bunch of other guests doing trivia type shows too. We had like character swap where
That was hard. It was
hard, yeah. But it was hard. But they would take a ride, a description of a ride, and change the characters to be other characters that person has played. It kind of sounds weird, but you have to listen. So check that out. Subscribe to Station 71 podcast. And we recorded a fun episode for Disney DNA Podcast. Check it out, episode number 236. What is your favorite attraction? Me, Stitch, Sparrow, and the Disney Mom. We're all on there with the Disney DNA crew, Trent, Jenny, Sophia, and Brooklyn. It was a lot of fun. Check it out. I'll have links to that in the show notes as well. Or you just search for Disney DNA Podcast. You should be subscribed to them anyway. All right, so we are going to talk about some Marvel stuff this episode. We're really excited. We're big Marvel fans.
Today's a Marvel episode.
I have been a Marvel fan since I was a young kid. I read the comic books. I watched the cartoons.
I've been a Marvel fan since I was born.
Yeah, pretty much. And then you guys had the movies all of your lives.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's your favorite
Spider-Man.
character?
No.
And then why do you say Spider-Man?
Because I had a Spider-Man stuffed animal.
You did, right from the very beginning. You're right. In the hospital, the day
I had
after
a
he was born,
Spider-Man
he had a
stuffed
Spider-Man. Yep, that had the chewy hands for teething. Oh, that was a nice auditory sound. But first, before we get into that, let's get into... we want to let you guys know that we have a travel sponsor with Disney Discussions. We are very happy to have...
A real sponsor.
Yep, Destinations with Character Travel to be our travel sponsor. Destinations with Character Travel is a Disney earmarked agency specializing in Disney cruises, Disney and resort vacations, and in the business of making your dreams come true. Made up of past cast members, AP holders, lifelong Disney fans, and world travel enthusiasts, they are in the know regarding all the aspects of your travel. Whether your travels are taking you to Disney Park, an ocean cruise, or a sunny resort stay, they have the destinations and service level to make your vacation a truly magical one. Find out how they take the stress away and hassle out of your vacation so you can enjoy yourself. And right now they're having a deal. Book a 5-night package, Disney package, with 4-day park hoppers with them and get a free $25 Disney gift card just by mentioning Disney Discussions.
Yes.
So contact them. Go to destinationswithcharacter.com or email info@destinationswithcharacter.com. And we'll have links in the show notes. So if you're booking a Disney stay for 5 nights with a 4-day park hopper, you get a $25 gift card. Just mention Disney Discussions. All right, you guys ready to get on with the show?
Oh,
well, first,
yeah.
we'll talk about Marvel. What I wanted to talk about first, before our visit to the Marvel Universe of Superheroes exhibit at the Franklin Institute, and before our top 5 Marvel movies, I just want to mention I've seen a lot of questions online because at D23 they mentioned Avengers Campus coming to Disneyland
Yes.
with a Spider-Man ride, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, I thought Sony owned Spider-Man. How can Disney put Spider-Man?" So I want to clarify a few things there.
Okay.
Can I do that?
Yes, you can.
All right, excellent.
But I think
Sony does not own Spider-Man.
Yes.
Sony owns the
movie
movie rights to
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
All right. So Disney and Marvel obviously still own the character of Spider-Man. That's why they're able to have him in video games and cartoons. They still make the comic books. So they are not using the movie character of Spider-Man in the ride. It'll be their own like comic book, or they're kind of coming up with their own theme park Marvel universe, because all the Marvel rides and the different Disney theme parks across the world are kind of connected. So it's like that Spider-Man. It's not Tom Holland Spider-Man, but it's a Spider-Man. So that's why they're able to use him in the park. They call it Avengers Campus because part of that contract with Universal that Marvel made years ago before Disney owned them was they can't use the word Marvel in any of their theme parks. So they can't call it Marvel, superhero campus. Yeah. It's got to be Avengers Campus, which is good. I think a lot of people know that Avengers means Marvel superheroes.
Marvel, obviously. Yeah.
But that's how they're able to have a Spider-Man ride, is because Sony just has the movie rights. Universal just has the theme park rights in the East Coast. And since Disneyland being on the West Coast, they could use Spider-Man there. Make sense?
Yes.
All right. So recently, we went to the Franklin Institute in Philadelphia because they had a Marvel exhibit. It's called Marvel Universe of Superheroes. Mm-hmm. We went, as we're recording this, yesterday, but as you hear, it'll be a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. So it's no longer there. We actually went the last week it was there. We were meaning to go all summer, but our summer's been crazy, and they actually extended it a few days, so we were able to go. And it was nice. We went on a Friday afternoon. There was like nobody there. We got to take our time. This is really cool. I think this might be a traveling exhibit, so if this comes to a science museum or a kids museum near you, I definitely recommend it. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So we'll go through it. I'll post some pictures of what was there in the show notes. I'll put that, or even on our website, so you could see some of the exhibits that were there. So it started off, we went in the lobby, and what was in the lobby that we saw?
There was a Thor figure hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. It looked like he was about to land on the ground with his hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yep. And so you start off and they give like a 5-minute movie about the history of Marvel. So what did you guys learn in that?
That the reason Captain America was made was for World War II.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, and even before America was in the war, he was created. So Marvel Comics was originally Timely Comics.
Yes.
Right? And Marvel Comics #1 was their first comic they put out. So that's why eventually they changed their name to Marvel Comics. Stan Lee has worked for them. It was his cousin or uncle or something, right? That was running the company. So he was always been working with them from the beginning, but he did very little in the beginning. He didn't help create Captain America. That was Jack Kirby.
Yeah.
And I forget the other guy's name, but but Stan Lee does have something in the first Captain America comic book. Back then, in order for shipping rates, they had to label it as a magazine. Mm-hmm. So they had, comic book like artist panels, but they also had just word type pieces, prose in there. So Stan Lee wrote one of those. And his real name isn't Stan Lee. It's Stanley Lieberstein or something like that, right? So he wanted to be an author, like a book writer, and he didn't want to be associated with comic books. So he just changed his author name for comic books to be Stan Lee. He took his first name and split it in two. So as the years went on, superheroes kind of fell away after World War II, and it was mostly like crime and horror comic books, they said, right?
Yeah.
And then in the 60s, sales were really declining, and Stan Lee's wife said, well, why don't you just do superheroes the way you want to do? If you're going to quit, finally just do some superheroes you want to do, and if they fire you, they fire you. So he came up with...
Iron...
Nope.
Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four was the first.
Spider-Man.
Fantastic Four was first, and it was the first like superhero group to be a family.
Yeah.
And it took off. It did amazingly well, and they kept creating superheroes from there. So who else did Stan Lee create with Jack Kirby, the artist who drew them and helped contribute to the story? Iron Man, yeah. Spider-Man.
Was it with Spider-Man, or was it with somebody else?
Spider-Man was somebody else.
Yeah.
Spider-Man was Steve Ditko. The Hulk.
Yes.
Right?
Hulk,
the Mighty Thor. And then,
well, he didn't create Thor. He created the comic book character
he
Thor.
He used the mythology and
For,
then
like,
created the
Thor and
superhero around
Asgard
it.
and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And then eventually, Stan Lee helped create the X-Men with other artists, Doctor Strange, all those things. So they kind of went through the history of that.
Yeah.
It was a really cool movie just to prep you, and they even had like a fake newsstand with comic books around it.
Yeah.
And then you walk in, and then what did we see? The first part of the exhibit.
Marvel Comics #1.
Yeah, so they had an actual issue of Marvel Comics #1 there, graded. So I've never seen that. I have reprints and stuff of that, but that had the first appearance of the Human Torch, not the Fantastic Four Human Torch, but the android Human Torch, who actually you could see in Captain America: First Avenger when they're going through the World's Fair type thing. There's a person in a tube on the show floor wearing all red.
Yes.
And that's supposed to say that's kind of a tribute to the Human Torch, because that's how he was in the comic book. He was an android.
I remember seeing that.
Yeah, they had
An android.
like a robot, but looks like a person.
Vision.
So like the Vision's an android. This version of Human Torch is an android.
Okay.
My phone is an android. Just that.
Your phone's disguised to look like human.
And they had some cool. A lot through this exhibit, they had original artwork from the
Yeah, it
comic
was
books,
really
which was
cool.
really cool to see. Especially they had the one existing page from that Marvel Comics #1. There's all the rest of the pages are missing or destroyed.
Yep.
They had the last page. Then they had some standouts of Captain America and Bucky, how they
Bucky
looked
was really short.
during World War II. Yeah, he was short. Captain America's a little skinny, funny-looking kind of guy, right?
Yep.
And then they had kind of a wall with a video montage of all of...
Stanley's cameos, except they didn't have his Homecoming cameo.
Right. But it was all the current MCU cameos, because he's done others for like the previous Spider-Man movies and the X-Men movies and stuff. But
yeah.
They even showed his Infinity War one.
Yeah.
So it's recent.
Yep, and they kind of give like a look of what the old Marvel offices would have looked like with the drawing tables, and kind of you had a window that looked out over New York at the time, so that was really cool. Mm-hmm. And then they got into the Fantastic Four, and they had some artwork on the wall and just the story, and each one they had like the story of each character and some drawings of them, and they had Mr. Fantastic and like
with his very long arm.
Yeah, like an arm going around the corner to the other room. And then they had a cool, like, it looked like part of the Fantastic Four headquarters.
Yeah, it was cool. So they had like a thing.
A statue of the thing.
Yeah.
The character
He
thing.
was sitting on a couch, sleeping, reading a book, and there was a window behind it that had characters come in from time to time, and you could take a picture with him.
Yeah.
Sometimes they weren't even characters, because I got a picture of the helicarrier. It was really cool.
Yep. It was really cool, because he was kind of looking like he fell asleep with a book on the couch, and you could just sit next to him and get pictures, and every once in a while that video had Avengers Tower in the background, and
Stark
Spider-Man,
Tower actually said Stark
Tower, right? And Spider-Man would swing by, or Galactus would come by, so that was really cool.
Silver Surfer,
Galactus,
Thor.
We got a lot of pictures there. That was a lot of fun. And again, I'll put these pictures in.
You knew Thor was coming because it like went dark and started raining, and it was like, that's Thor.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to do Thor or Storm from the X-Men, but they did Thor, so that was cool. And then you turn the corner, and we got to see
costumes from the Black Panther movie.
Yep.
We got to see Black Panthers, Shuri, and his guard.
Yeah, I can never say her name, but the guard that was in Endgame and Infinity War as well. So they had their costumes that were really cool, like actual costumes. A lot of these props were the ones
actually from the movie.
Yep, and some of them were replicas. They'll tell you on the signs like this was actually used by the actor, or
it would say wielded by.
Right. And then some of them were just say like
as
replicas
seen.
of, or as seen in. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Going back to this thing statue, the window is gonna be what they're gonna do like in Star Wars Land with the hotel or the restaurant in Epcot.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a screen, not an actual window.
Yeah, exactly right. You've been paying attention. Good job.
Actually, I said that at the exhibit too.
Yep. And then so like the Thing statue, they had a lot of statues you could take pictures with throughout. So they had a Black Panther
They
statue.
had 3 or 4, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So there was also another booth, and there was like a TV, and there was like voting for favorite superheroes. Obviously, Spider-Man was first.
Yep, Spider-Man was number 1.
Tied with Black Panther.
Was it tied? Oh, wow.
16%.
Wow.
It was so weird though, because Captain America wasn't fifth.
Yeah. You think he'd be higher?
and Iron Man was like in fourth, I think.
Okay.
So I kept on pressing Iron Man. Sprout kept on touching Captain America, and I was like, wait a minute. So I was like, wait a minute, I don't want Spider to lose from first, so I kept on pressing Spider-Man and Iron Man.
Yep.
So after Black Panther, they had the Spider-Man
Yes.
stuff, which is really cool. They
Yeah.
had
They had Vulture's cracked helmet, which
That
was
was
actually from the
really
movies.
from Homecoming, yeah.
And then
They had Green Goblin's mask, and then a pumpkin bomb.
Yep, from the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
and the actual suit that Tom Holland wore from Homecoming.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, that was really cool. And you could actually see, like, in some of the places, this was
It's,
a
like,
real
worn.
worn suit, because some of the places it was worn out, like some of the black dots that were on it were coming off. So it was actually used in the movies, which was really cool. And then they had the statue that was upside down. You got some pictures there of Spider-Man,
Spider-Man.
hanging,
That's
giving the peace
funny.
sign, like Sparrow does all the time.
And then I put my when I got a picture with him, I put my hand upside down
Yep.
to make bunny ears over him.
And then they had, some visuals of like Spider-Man through the years, the
Yeah.
different artists that did it, and
That was
Miles
cool.
Morales. They even had a little one wall of Into the Spider-Verse with the different
Art.
artists.
That was really cool.
And they
concept
had a
art.
projection of what they were gonna have Miles look like.
Right. Yep. And then you turn around, they have all the Thor stuff.
Yes, they had
And
Loki's helmet that
they
Tom Hiddleston actually wore.
That's right.
And then they had the costume from Ragnarok that Thor actually wore.
No, not from Ragnarok.
What was it from?
I think it was
It
from
was
the original
from-
Thor, right?
It was
No,
from
the
Dark World.
Dark World.
And
they had
then-
that, and then they had Hela's.
Hela, and then they had Mjolnir from the first Avengers movie.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
cool.
so those are really cool. Unlike, they put a lot of detail in this stuff.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
really cool. And then you turn that corner, and then you get a whole Iron Man
Yes.
exhibit, and they had
His Mark 1 suit, and then his, like 5, I think,
yeah, I forget the
from
And then-
the first Iron Man, and then it was one of his suits from Iron Man 3, the one that's kind of like gold.
more gold than red. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
So they had those behind like glass cases, kind of like even like Tony Stark
Yeah.
would have it in the movies. So it was really cool. They had
That was amazing.
you really like that?
So like I was going to look at the Ant-Man section. I was like, Sparrow was like, "Hey Stitch, come over here," and I was like, "1 second, let me look at the." Never mind, I'm coming
Yep.
because I saw it was Iron Man. Oh,
Yeah.
they also had the actual arc reactor.
Yep. And then next thing was to say
From
they had
Endgame.
they had the suitcase
Infinity
from Iron Man 2,
Yeah.
and then the arc
Infinity
reactor
War.
from Infinity War. But they were all lit up, like they had the repulsar rays on, the eyes were
Yeah,
on. They
it
were
was
really,
really cool.
really cool looking.
Robert Downey Jr. actually wore those.
He did. It's crazy stuff. Then they kind of went through like how they create comic books.
Yeah, that
which
was
was
cool.
And they actually had a really cool touchscreen where you get the artist version. So I think they had a Jack Kirby Thor page,
Yeah.
right? And then you could see how different inkers would change the way the art looked just
Yeah.
by rubbing your finger over. You select the inker, you rub your finger over it, and you could see how the art was changed. And it's kind of amazing to see.
Yeah.
Even though you have one artist, the inker that does the inks over it could really change
so
the way it
I just
different.
want to say
Yeah.
something really quick.
Go for it.
So, Tony the Disney Dad was mostly like on the comic book stuff. He would like, "Hey Stitch, come over here," and I was like, "1 second." He was like, "Come on." I was like, "I want to look at the movie stuff."
Yeah, that's true.
So the kids are more into like the movies.
I like the movie stuff, but I wanted to pay attention to some of the comic book stuff too. But
Well, I grew up with the movies.
yes. And then they had the whole Captain America
Oh
movie
my gosh, that was the
area,
best
which was
part.
cool. They had a ton of stuff. So they had his shield from
From Avengers
Endgame.
Endgame. That's probably the coolest thing there.
yeah. which
Actually,
is-
no, second coolest thing. Iron Man suits were coolest.
And you could walk around
Yeah.
it so you could kind of see the back. But it was really cool looking. And if we had gone earlier in the summer, this wouldn't have been there. This
Nope.
was like a late addition. So
Yeah,
that
they
was really
just
cool.
got it.
I'm looking at the
And-
pictures. I like Stitch's face. And then they had
Oh, they had Bucky's costume from the Winter Soldier.
with the cracked
Yeah, with the
goggles,
cracked
which
eye
is
from
cool.
when
Yeah.
Black Widow shot the bullet.
They had the Tesseract.
Oh, wait,
from
hold on.
Captain
Let's finish.
America one.
Yeah, no, you're right. But let's finish some of the Captain America stuff, guys.
Yep. And then they had his shield from Ultron, and then his Ultron suit.
Yeah, which I really like the Age of Ultron suit.
I know, yeah.
Much better than the Avengers one.
Yes. Well,
Mhm.
And then
and he's better than the
Any suit
Avengers.
is better than the Avengers suit.
Yeah, his Avengers suit was not great. And then they had the
And then they
shield
have
from...
the shield from the first Avenger
Right.
with like all the marks on it and
Yeah.
everything.
These are really cool, really highly detailed.
Yes.
Then I got some pictures of the
Comic book
artwork,
art.
which are really cool. They had
Nick
Nick...
Fury's costume. We're gonna post this in the show notes and let us know if you know where he wore this. It said he wore it in the first Avengers movie, but
You don't remember.
who knows?
Yeah. And then they had the
Tesseract.
Yeah, which we almost missed. It was like kind of off to the side.
Yeah.
And we turn around like, oh, wait a minute, the Tesseract's right here.
Yeah, it was really
So
cool.
and this was the real one, or
Yes.
one of the ones they used in the movies anyway.
This
The
was
first
from the
Avenger.
first Captain America movie.
Okay,
The first Avenger.
it's very
But
cool.
you could see the crystal glowing inside of it, the stone.
Yeah,
I thought that was like really cool.
yeah, they had it light up. Then they had Black Widow's costume.
From the first Avengers movie.
Yeah, so a
That-
lot of
that
stuff
was
from the
really
first
cool.
Avengers,
Yeah.
which was. We got to be careful because when we say the first Avengers movie, there's also Captain America, the first Avenger.
Well, yeah, but we say the first
No, I know,
Avengers
I know.
movie.
It's
and
just
then, yeah,
funny.
Yeah.
And then they had some artwork on the wall from
The end of Winter Soldier, the
Yeah.
credits.
yeah, which was awesome.
Yeah.
Some more carbide, and then they had like a life-size Hulk statue.
Yeah.
We took a picture of, and that
Wait,
was really
that's
cool.
life size?
Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah, that's what the
He's
size.
huge.
Yeah, sure is. And then that was kind of, we thought that was the end of the exhibit,
Yeah.
but just continued on into another room. So we got some more, and then they kind of went into the more recent
The
stuff
TV shows.
and the Netflix TV shows. So they had
they had Daredevil's costume, which was actually really cool.
There's Jessica Jones too.
yep, they had the suit David Tennant wore.
Yeah, we met him.
Yep, we met him in the Kingpin suit from the Netflix
Yep.
show. They had the sweatshirt from Luke Cage in there.
The Eye of Agamotto from
So-
Doctor Strange.
Yeah, they did a really cool thing. They
Yeah,
had a
it
whole
made it-
Go ahead.
Sorry.
No,
it made
no.
it look like the mirror dimension
Yeah.
in there. They just put a bunch of mirrors up. It was really cool.
Yeah, so the whole Doctor Strange section, like Sparrow said, they had mirrors everywhere, but it wasn't just straight up. Like, they were kind of slanted.
Yeah.
They were different sizes. They were on the ceiling.
Some were even like on the bottom, and like they weren't even whole mirrors.
Yeah, and they would have, like, the artwork from the comic book, which was Steve Ditko, which was really kind of trippy and wild, but it would move.
But I think trippy when it's tricky.
No, trippy is a word. Like, trippy means, like, whoa, that's so weird.
And then when you were looking at the Doctor Strange costume, it looked like there were 4 costumes.
Yeah, at least 4, maybe even more. Like, the way they did the mirrors. It was
Yeah.
really cool. Well
Yes.
done. The Disney mom felt a little dizzy after leaving that room.
And right before the Doctor Strange thing was the voting thing I said. before.
Right. Yep. So they had the Eye of Agamotto in there.
Agimoto.
They had
And then-
that ladies.
The ancient
Right,
one.
the Ancient One's costume,
Yeah,
the
that was
Doctor
cool.
Strange's costume. Then they had a statue of Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
They could get with her fist kind of bigger than the rest of her because it's her superpower.
Yep.
Which is, she will be a Disney Plus show coming in the future.
Yeah.
Cool.
So keep your eye out for that.
They had a Groot bust.
Right.
Like, for this, it said,
Ooh, that's-
as seen in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right. So I don't think this was actually used in the movie, but
No.
it looked just like Groot from the movie, which was
It
really
was
cool.
really
Even the
creepy.
eyes were like,
It was creepy because I was dancing and then I turned to the side and Groot was just staring at me. I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
and then they had Drax's daggers, which
Which
were
were
real.
actually used by him. They had Star-Lord's Walkman, but it wasn't used by him.
And then the Power Stone, which
right,
was
the
not,
orb thing that the power
which
stone.
was not actually used
Yep.
in. So
They had Star-Lord's costume and then Gamora's costume.
Yeah.
From the first Guardians movie.
she's green.
Yep. And then they had kind of a cool Thanos
Thanos
and
section.
the superheroes, but some really good artwork.
I didn't get the picture of the Thanos thing because right before we went in there, my iPod died.
Your iPod died. Oh, that's sad.
And
And then as you leave, they just have some of the artwork, comic
And-
book artwork as you leave, and
then
word
Stanley.
balloons
there were
and
word
stuff.
bubbles saying,
Oh yeah,
like,
Stan Lee stuff. Yeah.
word bubbles saying like, I hope you had a good time. It's like, don't forget to tell your friends.
Yep. That's exactly
And
what
thank
it
you
said.
for embarking in our journey.
Yep. So maybe I'll even put a YouTube video together. Maybe I won't. I don't know. I'll put some pictures up for
Yeah.
sure so you guys check it out. But if it's coming to a city near you, we definitely recommend it, especially
Definitely.
if you're into the Marvel movies. You see a lot of props, a lot of stuff used there, and then you can learn about the comic books. Or if you're in the comic books, you can learn about the movie stuff.
Yeah.
And they had little, I didn't notice this till about halfway through, but even some of the benches that you could sit
Yeah,
on were
they
all
were,
like
like,
labeled for each stone.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one I sat on was the reality stone.
Oh, did you feel like you were in reality?
Well, no.
I
It
am.
would change reality.
Right.
I am.
And then the Franklin Institute, there's a lot of cool stuff there anyway that we did. So
Yeah,
that's
so
always a lot of fun to visit.
Go
I
to the
got-
Franklin
I
Institute
got
without.
sick on airplane thing.
Yeah, we did a airplane simulation, which was kind of like Star Tours, but like a very
Yeah.
cheap version of Star Tours. And that made Sparrow a little sick. What were you going to say, Stitch? I'm sorry.
Even the Franklin Institute, it's really cool, even without the Marvel exhibit. So go check it out.
Definitely check it out.
If you live near it.
Yeah, well, I think this is a traveling exhibit, so if it's coming near you,
No, yeah.
definitely.
But what
yeah,
he was saying about going to the Franklin
Oh, yeah,
Institute,
yeah.
just if you live near it, because
definitely.
Well, we live like an hour away.
I know.
All
I'm
right.
saying for some of our listeners, though.
Whatever. Yeah, that's cool. That's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
we have listeners all over,
All over.
except for Oklahoma. Oklahoma is the only state that has never downloaded an episode of Disney Discussions.
That doesn't mean they
So-
haven't listened to it, though.
Well, I guess they could have left the state and downloaded it. But so if you know anybody in Oklahoma, ask them to download at least one episode of Disney Discussions so we
Then
can have
could say
all 50
states have downloaded an
Yes.
episode.
Oh, we even have some listeners in China.
Yeah.
Then we will
We have
feel-
all the continents except Antarctica. There's no stats on Antarctica.
Does anybody live in Antarctica?
I think there's like a few scientists that kind of live there to observe things.
But why would people download podcasts in Antarctica?
Well, you're bored. You're in Antarctica. You're stuck inside all day.
Well, yeah, but you're also doing scientific research.
That's true. Not all the time. Not 24/7.
probably.
All right. Before we get on to our top 5 Marvel
Yes.
movies, I just want to remind you where to find.
Well, why would people want to build a house in Antarctica? I mean, polar bears can come and knock them over.
Yeah, they wouldn't. They wouldn't. It's only for a job that you would do with it.
Yeah.
All right, so before we get into our top 5 Marvel movies, I just want to
Yeah.
let you know where to find us. You can find us on any podcast app. So you just happen to find our podcast on our website. Feel free, go into Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you find podcasts. I said podcast a lot in that sentence. Just search for Disney Discussion, subscribe to us. You'll get every new episode downloaded to your device for free. Go to our website, DisneyDiscussions.com, and we'll have all the links on our show notes. We'll have these pictures. We'll have links to our YouTube stuff, our social stuff. Be sure to check us out. I'm working on a brand new website, so I don't know how long that's going to take, but I'm working on it. I just want to be able to put some articles up on there, get some new content, so I think that'll be cool. If you have any questions for us, be sure to email us, podcast@DisneyDiscussions.com. We'd love to hear from you. And follow us on Twitter. That's where we're most active, Disney_discuss. We have a lot of discussions on there. We ask a lot of questions. We want feedback from you guys, so be sure to check us out.
If you say podcast a lot, it doesn't even sound like a word.
When you say any word a lot, it doesn't sound like a word.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys ready to get into your top 5 Marvel
Yes.
Cinematic Universe movies?
Yes, I am.
So these are the MCU movies. Anything that came before doesn't count. Any of the X-Men movies don't count.
I
Not
don't
that
care
you've
for
really
any of
seen them.
those.
So, all right, so we'll do from 5 to 1.
Yeah.
All right, Stitch, what is your number 5 Marvel movie?
Avengers #1.
The first Avengers.
The first
is your
Avengers.
number 5 Marvel movie. Out of 23, that's your number 5. Why? What's one thing you like about that movie so much?
It's the first Marvel movie I ever saw.
That's a good reason.
But the reason it's number 5 is Captain America. It just wasn't.
That
good
brings
for
it
me.
down. If he had a better suit,
Yes.
it would be higher on your list?
Definitely.
okay.
I just really did not like his suit.
Okay, fair enough. Sparrow, your number 5 Marvel movie.
Is Captain America Civil War.
Ah, Civil War.
Yes.
Very nice.
Because it's an Avengers movie, but it's not an Avengers movie.
Okay.
Right. It's a Captain America
Yes.
movie,
But it's an Avengers
I
movie.
think
but
you just
it's really an
confused-
Avengers movie.
I think you just confused all of our listeners.
Because it's
Anybody.
really Captain America number 3.
But
right?
it really is Avengers #3, too.
It totally is. So it's Captain America number 3, but it's really like people call it Avengers 2.5.
Avengers 2.5.
Yeah, exactly. But Civil War is a really good movie, and that's actually my number 5 as well.
Oh.
Yeah, Captain
I-
America Civil War.
I still think all our listeners are confused.
Okay, well, we
They're
explained
fine
it.
now. Yeah. I don't know. I really like. There's still development, even though, like you said, we said it's Avengers 2.5. There's a lot of Captain America stuff in there.
Yes.
A good Captain America development, good relationship, not building, really destroying between Steve
Yeah.
Rogers and Tony Stark, which really played into Infinity War and why
Yes.
they lost. I really like that movie, and the introduction of Spider-Man into the MCU, which was awesome. No one was expecting that, and
Nope.
his introduction was great. Under Rose.
Honestly, I thought they should have saved him, like, not show anybody about Spider-Man. And then when they see the movie,
Yeah.
Spider-Man's there instead of showing it in the first trailer.
Yeah, that would
Like,
have been a good
hey
way.
guys, Spider-Man's here.
Yep.
Oh,
That'd have been
cool.
a good way. All right. So we'll go back. I'll start this time. Number 4.
Yes.
My number 4 Marvel movie is Avengers, the first one. They did a lot with that movie, stuff that's never been done before. We didn't think. Do we have the same list? Is that what you're laughing?
that's my same number 4.
So yours is Avengers 2, number
Yes.
4? Not Avengers 2, but Avengers also. Yeah, they did a lot of stuff. It was the first time we saw a group of superheroes like that
Yeah.
in a movie, and we didn't think they would do any more, and then they did Infinity War, which had every single Marvel superhero.
Besides X-Men.
Yeah.
Because X-Men.
Right.
was
But a lot of
before that.
good character development.
Yes.
That was a really good movie. I like that a lot.
Not every single superhero. Ant-Man and Hawkeye were not in it.
Fair enough. Well,
Endgame had
Let's
every
say
single
Endgame. Yeah,
superhero.
there you go.
Okay.
Even Howard the Duck.
Yeah. All right. So why is Avengers number 4 on your list? Sarah?
Because I really like the Avengers movies, and I really like how Loki's in it, and Loki.
Loki being the bad guy. Yeah, he was a really good bad guy. Your first hint of Thanos.
Yes.
From that
Not
movie?
really a hint, because...
Well, yeah. A lot of people didn't know who Thanos was when that movie came out. If you
No.
weren't into the comic books and just watching movies, you didn't know. But yeah.
I had no clue, but it's not a hint of Thanos. It's just
Right.
like, hey, here's a guy.
Well, yeah, but they didn't even have his name, I don't think.
Yeah.
Maybe in the credits they did. And it was not Josh Brolin, the actor that did him
It was not.
later on. It was somebody. It's just CGI.
It's just a guy.
Yep. Just a dude. Stitch, your number 4 Marvel movie.
My number 4 is. I'm just making this up right now, so. I think my number 4 is actually No, it's Captain America: The First Avenger.
First Avenger.
First Avenger.
All right. Why is that your number 4?
Because it's just a really good movie.
Yeah. What do you like most about that movie?
Captain America.
There's good costume in that. Kind of had to make it up on his own. I like how they. Well, I won't say too much, but I like how they incorporated his comic book costume in that, like when he's doing the stage
Yeah.
shows.
I also liked how it's like with Peggy and the shield. It's like, what do you think, Peggy?
Yeah.
I think it's good.
Yeah. I like Agent Carter a lot. Peggy
Yes.
Carter. She was really good. That's a good pick. All right. So now you're number 3, Stitch.
My number 3 is, I think it's gonna be Civil War.
Civil War.
Civil War.
All right. Why do you like that one so much?
Because it has Vision.
Vision. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. Vision was a good character. Introduced in Age of Ultron.
But I did not see the whole movie of Age of
Okay.
Ultron, so I cannot say.
Yeah. Vision's a good,
Yeah, he's a good character.
kind of underrated character. I think a lot of people
Definitely.
forget about him. Yeah.
So is Hawkeye. He's underrated.
Yep. You're number 3, Sparrow.
My number 3 is Avengers Infinity War.
We do have the same one.
No way.
Yes.
No, I know what your number 1 is, though, and it's not my number 1.
Oh, okay.
I'm just telling you that now.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So Infinity War.
Wait, unless your
It might
number
be. Good.
Oh, okay. Infinity War, because I really like how they were all able to incorporate all the characters and not have it be a terrible movie.
Right, yeah. That was a lot of people had doubts, like how are you going to have this many characters and not people get lost, but they spend enough time on each character.
Yeah.
Although I would argue that not enough time on
Enough
Captain
on-
America
yes.
and Black Widow, but
But they made up with that on Endgame.
Exactly.
Because
right.
they obviously already had that plan.
Yeah,
so they
exactly
knew
right.
that. Yeah, because Infinity War was more focused on Iron Man.
Yeah.
And then Endgame was more focused on like Captain America and them.
Yep. And good character building there too.
Yeah.
Sad ending. People are crying in the movie theater.
Mostly because of Spider-Man.
Yep. So my number 3 is also Avengers Infinity War. It's a really good movie. Tough to beat. I like the dynamic with Peter Parker, Spider-Man, and Tony Stark in
Yeah.
that movie. It was really good. You got to see the Iron Spider suit.
Yes,
That's
which
nice.
was awesome.
All right. So my number 2 Marvel movie is Avengers Endgame.
Okay, we don't have the same.
Okay. Yeah, I love Endgame. I think they did an amazing job of tying up the past 11 years of Marvel movies, 23 movies. They just did an incredible job of having everybody in there. They hit the right beats, a lot of surprises in that movie we were not expecting. Just really well done, really well written, really well acted. The effects were amazing. It is a really good movie. I said really a lot in that.
Yes, you did.
But
It still sounds like a word.
thoroughly enjoyable, and I think
Yeah.
endings are really hard, and they managed to pull off a good ending
2. Good
with
ending.
this.
3.
Well, I'm saying as a movie itself,
Yes.
the ending to like kind of this phase, even though they say Spider-Man Far From Home is the end of this
I would
phase,
say Far From Endgame.
Endgame is really
Yeah.
kind of the end of it,
And-
and Far From Home is like an epilogue, but a great movie
Yes.
to end it all. All right, so
My
that is my number 2, Endgame. What is your number 2, Sparrow?
my number 2 is Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Oh, okay. Why?
Because who doesn't like the Winter Soldier?
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
The
Really good
introduction
movie.
of like Bucky is a bad guy.
Yes.
I wasn't shocked when they revealed that Winter Soldier was Bucky, but I know there were actually some people in the theater that didn't see that coming. When they took off his mask, they were like, "What?" I don't know how he could not know that, but
They didn't read the comic
what
books.
else about Winter Soldier did you like?
I really like the character Falcon.
Mm.
He's a really good character. And I like how it wasn't just the Captain America movie. Like how Like, because some of the other superhero movies I feel like are just that superhero. Like Iron Man is mainly focused on just Iron Man. But with the Captain America movies, like the first Captain America, it was like him, Peggy, and Bucky. And then in the Winter Soldier, it's Falcon, him, and Black Widow.
Right.
I like that about the Captain America movies.
Nick Fury.
Yes, Nick Fury.
Nick Fury stuff in that movie too. What is your...
But he's supposed to be dead in that movie.
After, he dies in that movie. Maybe it was a scroll.
He dies twice in that movie.
Yeah, that's true. What was your number 2 Marvel movie, Stitch?
Infinity War.
Infinity War.
Infinity War.
Why is that your number 2?
Because it's one of the best movies.
Yeah.
Pretty sure everybody knows.
Marvel movie or one of the best movies ever?
Ever.
Yeah. Who's your favorite character?
I can't agree with that.
Who's your favorite character in Infinity War?
That vanished or did not vanish?
Doesn't matter.
Spider-Man can do whatever a spider can.
There you go. All right.
Nice.
And now your number 1 Marvel movie, Stitch, is...
Endgame!
I didn't see that coming. Why is Endgame your number 1 Marvel movie?
Because it had a really good ending, yet a very terrible ending.
You were sad?
Yeah, I cried.
That's okay. The Disney mom cried 7 times, so it's okay.
Yeah.
I
And
cried
then
once.
6 the second time we saw it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sparrow, your number 1
My
is...
number 1 is Avengers Endgame.
Shocking. Why is Endgame your number 1?
Endgame is my number 1 because I really like the character of Ronan better than the character of Hawkeye, actually. I like how it was focused on the original Avengers until the end.
Right.
That was really cool. And then I also like the whole time travel thing.
Yeah.
How's like, there's a meme that I found. One of my friends showed it to me. It was who you thought was going to save the universe. It's Captain Marvel. Then it's Ant-Man, like with his arms out and a smiley face, who actually did it. Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, because it wasn't for Ant-Man.
Yeah.
They would have... Actually, it wasn't for that rat on the...
Yeah, it wasn't for the rat.
They wouldn't have known.
The real hero of Endgame. It's a picture of a rat.
And my number 1 is Captain America, Winter Soldier. That just ekes above Endgame a little bit. I don't know, it was like kind of a different format for a Marvel movie at the time. It was different, it was a little darker, it was kind of like an espionage spy movie.
Yeah.
That elevator scene is amazing. I love that
that's
elevator
my favorite scene in any of the Marvel movies.
Yeah, that's a really good scene. The struggle between Captain America and Bucky, you really felt that. I like the Captain America Black Widow stuff. Like you said, I like Falcon coming in. It kind of changed the whole SHIELD aspect of it with Hydra coming in, and even changed the SHIELD TV show. And I think that's really where the SHIELD TV show picked up, is when they had to not be SHIELD, right? I think they even called that season after that Agents of Nothing or something like that, because they didn't have SHIELD.
Well, that's kind of lame.
Yep.
Agents of Nothing.
So if you guys had a number 6, what would your number 6 be? Just kind of runner-ups.
My number 6?
Yeah.
Runner-up. I'm going to runner-up hill.
It was definitely a hard time deciding either Age of Ultron or Winter Soldier would go in second place, because I love Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
It's a very underrated movie.
It is. It definitely is. I need to watch them more. I think it's better.
I've never
as
seen
time
it.
went on. Yep.
Quicksilver is also very underrated,
Yeah.
too. I love Quicksilver.
Do you have a runner-up? What would be your number 6?
Probably nothing.
Okay. Can't think of it.
My number 7 would be Far From Home.
Oh, probably Ragnarok.
Ragnarok. That's a good one. That's a really good one. I like that one. Very funny. That's the best Thor movie, I think.
Oh,
Really?
yeah.
I
It's
like Dark
way better
World,
than
though.
Dark World.
Yeah.
Way better
Dark
than
World is my 7th.
Okay. My number 6 would be Homecoming. Spider-Man Homecoming. I really liked a great twist in that movie I didn't see coming, with Michael Keaton's the Vulture character.
Yeah, they're in the MCU. Sorry for interrupting you,
No,
but
it's
they
okay.
seem to be doing really good twists with the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of expected Mysterio to be a bad guy, but even when I found out he was, I was still in shock.
Yeah,
Because I'm
that-
like, yeah.
If you were a comic book guy, you kind of knew that wasn't going to be a twist, because Mysterio's always been a bad
yeah,
guy in Deceased.
I knew
but
that,
I knew
but, yeah.
a lot of people were surprised by that, which I think was really cool.
Guys!
Oh,
Oh,
we forgot that Stitch didn't
yeah.
see Far From Home.
No, I basically know the whole movie.
No, you don't.
No, you
There's a lot
don't.
in there you don't
No,
know.
you don't.
All right. Oops. Can we edit that out of your memories?
No.
Oh well. All right, let us know what your top 5 Marvel movies
Yes.
are. Follow us on Twitter, Disney_discuss. We'll be on there. We'll post this, and then let us know your top 5 Marvel movies. We
Yeah.
also have... Oh, go ahead.
Maybe even top 6.
Sure.
If you want to put the 6th one, you can.
We have a new quote-unquote sponsor on this podcast. Stitch, why don't you tell us who that sponsor is?
Poppins Medicine. Now added with a spoonful of sugar. It helps it go down.
Yep. Thanks to Poppins Medicine. Find that nowhere.
Find there at nowhere.com.
All right. So in episode number 46, we did our top 5 heroes and villains, and you guys got back to us to let us know your list. So we just wanted to share some of those with you. Thank you for joining our Disney discussion on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We really appreciate it. So we heard from a few people. So we heard from Bryce on Facebook. Said he liked our picks, but you can't go wrong with a Disney villain. His from number 1 to 5 is Ratigan, Cruella, DeVille, Jafar, Hook, and Ursula.
Who's Ratigan?
He is the bad guy from The Great Mouse Detective. Is that right? Yeah, The Great Mouse Detective.
Mm-hmm.
We saw this movie a long time ago. I think you guys were little. But yeah, he's a good villain. He was very villainous. I even forgot about him. I had a talk with someone at work, Danielle, who said, how could we forget Ursula from the top 5 Disney villains? And that's a good point. She would probably be number 6 or 7 on my list. She's a really good.
I don't
never
like
seen
her.
that movie.
She's fat.
You guys have never seen Little Mermaid?
No.
I don't like her. She's
That's
fat.
not nice.
Ursula's fat. She's fake.
All right. And then Rick Forbes said his list for top 5 villains would be Yzma from Emperor's New Groove, which is a good pick.
Yeah.
Ursula.
It's Uzma.
Uzma? Is that how you say it? Okay. What did I say? Yzma?
Yeah.
What do I know? Ratigan, Scar, and Mother Gothel.
Scar's a good one.
Scar's a good one. I think we mentioned Scar, right? We had
Yeah.
we had to have Scar. Mother Gothel's a good one too. I think that was one of my picks. For heroes, Rick let us know that his top 5 heroes are Simba, Moana, Mulan, Pongo,
Pongo.
Anna, and the Avengers. I don't know. I'm looking up. Oh, Pongo from 101 Dalmatians, of course. Anna from Frozen. Anna.
Anna.
And then the Avengers.
Yes.
And then on Twitter,
Wouldn't the Avengers count as 7 though?
Yeah, it's kind of cheating there if you count the whole team of Avengers, right? Melissa Hudson at Mel_is_a_dancer is she loved our list. She said her top 5 villains have to be Hades, Scar, Captain Hook, Claude Frollo, and the Evil Queen. I don't know who Claude Frollo is. Who is that?
I completely forgot about Hades.
Did you? That's a good one.
I was thinking
Claude
about
Frollo
him
from The Hunchback of Notre Dame. We have actually never seen Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Nope.
We're going to have to change that soon. And then her heroes are Hercules, Pocahontas, Mufasa, Flynn Rider, and Mulan. That's good. Potacon Go Network said Bagheera is definitely up there on heroes. He's from The Jungle Book. He's a good one. I like him a lot.
Wait, isn't he the Panther?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At Rick_ear said properties they have acquired for heroes would be Benjamin Franklin, Hawkeye, Pierce. So the guy from MASH, because he MASH is a TV show from Fox that they bought. So, oh no, I knew it.
Yes.
I knew it. You could never say it.
I worked on that TV show.
I shouldn't have said Fox. Oh, really?
I worked on that TV show.
What did you do on that TV show?
I don't know.
All right.
I can't remember. I'm old.
Where'd Sparrow go? This is so weird. Stitch, I told you to lock the door.
No, I got through the window.
Wow. Oh, the window. Oh, I gotta lock the windows now too.
Oh wait, sorry.
told
The
you to
ceiling.
lock the
See,
windows.
look.
Oh yeah.
The ceiling's open.
Oh, he went through the attic.
Yeah.
All right, get out of here.
All right, bye.
Where have you been, Sparrow?
Hey, Sparrow, where'd you go?
Oh, I went to get water.
Oh, okay.
You
Also-
always miss the Fox News guy.
Who's that?
Rick also said Merida from Pixar, Brave, Mulan, Bert, I guess from Mary Poppins, I would imagine, or Bert and Ernie. But no, Disney doesn't
It's
own
not
Sesame.
Disney.
Yeah, Disney doesn't own Sesame Street. And then Robin Hood.
Elmo's
And then
World.
only Disney, his list would be Mulan, Bert from Mary Poppins, Robin Hood, Jasmine, and Tiana.
Yeah.
At Googamp32 said Sabine Wren as a hero, which is a good one from Star Wars Rebels.
Oh yeah.
Korra, Kermit the Frog, Dreamfinder, and Elastigirl.
Goku. Korra.
So that's a good list.
Is it
Korra is
Korra?
from Tron, the new Tron Legacy, which we have never seen. We have to see that too.
Yes.
All right, Disney Marvel's podcast said their heroes list would be Mulan, Darkwing Duck, which is an excellent pick. I didn't think of him. Mickey, Baloo, and Kari. I'm not sure who Kari is. You guys are picking some characters I don't even know.
thought Dogwing Duck or whatever his name was a bad guy.
No, Darkwing Duck is a good guy. Oh, from Kingdom Hearts. Interesting. Okay.
I think he's the
She.
guy. Is he the guy you play as?
It's a girl. And it's one of the characters. I don't know who you play as. At McMarshall43, who always interacts with us on Twitter, so we're happy to have him. His favorite villains are number 1, Scar, number 2, Hades, 3, Maleficent, 4, Clayton, 5, Captain Hook. I don't know who Clayton is either. Clayton is... No.
Yeah, you don't really have to look it up.
I want to look it up. I want to know. Clayton is from... Tarzan. Is that right? Yeah. Oh, the bad guy from Tarzan.
Oh, yeah,
okay.
him. I like him.
I forgot his name. We've just recently seen Tarzan, so that's why I recognize his name.
Yeah, I didn't like that movie.
So that's favorite villains, and his favorite heroes are number 1, Mickey Mouse, number 2, Kermit the Frog, 3, Hercules, 4, Tarzan, 5, Robin Hood.
I realized nobody said Stitch for their good guys.
Nobody did say Stitch. I was special to you. So thanks for reaching out to us and having a discussion on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. We really like that. Continue to do that. So thanks for listening to this episode. Do you guys have anything else before I close up shop here?
Nope.
You guys good?
We're not in a shop. We're in a studio.
Oh, sorry. Thanks for listening. Again, we really, really appreciate it. Be sure to check us out everywhere we are online. Just go to Disney Discussions. Check out our pictures. Let us know your thoughts on our pictures from the Marvel exhibit that we went to. Let us know your top 5 Marvel movies. We'd love to hear from you. Be sure to check out our travel sponsor, Destinations with Character Travel, at destinationswithcharacter.com and get that deal for a $25 Disney gift card if you mention Disney Discussions.
Yeah.
And again, thanks for listening.
Yep.
We'll see you real soon.
And if you like our top 5 things, just give us some ideas on what we can do, and maybe we'll do more episodes like this.
We can do more lists, definitely, for sure. We would love to do more lists. All right. See you real soon.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Bye-bye.
Do, 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 do.